easy to get an adult to come onto the show and talk to you about what life is like in New Zealand, but it's not so easy to get a teenager to come on and share their life. So today I am super excited to introduce you to Tyrese. He's 17, he's a teenager living in New Zealand, and he has got a fabulous story to tell about how he went from school and all the problems and things he had at school to what he's doing now, which is super inspiring and exciting. What is it like being a teenager in New Zealand? I don't know how other way to put it.
What's it like being a teenager in New Zealand?
So let's jump into the show and find out what it's like to be a teenager in New Zealand. It's a Drama, coming to you from Taranaki, New Zealand.
Hello.
Daddy, I love him!
Mother thanks you.
Right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I've been really excited.
You know, I thought I would be nervous, but you know, I'm actually really excited.
And I brought all the garden furniture in from outside.
Yes.
Because I knew you were coming.
Yes, it's nice, comfortable.
And I was getting a bit nervous this morning, you know, and I was thinking, okay, Liz, why are you nervous? You're going to be talking, how old are you?
I'm 17.
17.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about yourself. We better say who you are, hadn't we? And it's just like have this private conversation, but...
Just introduce myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. My name is Tyrese. I'm 17, and I'm from New Plymouth, Taranaki. I was born in Sydney, Australia, but was raised here in New Zealand. And my iwi is Te Atiawa, so that's over in Waitara ways and that. But yeah, about me, I've got a big passion in radio and stuff.
Yeah.
I've had that passion for a year, but yeah, that's just pretty much who I am.
So you're Australian?
Australian and yeah, Māori at the same time, so kind of combine those words together.
How long were you in Australia? When you were born in Australia, how long were you over there for?
Like a few months.
Oh, okay.
Few months, I'd say.
Right,
yeah.
so you're ours then. You're New Zealand really, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah. But I'm Māori and Australian, so we combine those two words together and we call ourselves Mozzies.
Oh, is that right?
Mozzies, yeah. Māori and Aussies. So
I've never heard that.
Mozzies, yeah. So...
Is that like a thing, or is that you've just made that up?
I think it's a thing, yeah. I hear other, you know, Kiwis.
Mozzies?
Yeah, Mozzies.
Love that.
Mozzies, yeah.
Absolutely love it. Oh, well, I'm so pleased that you have come to chat to us because, well, to me, as you can see, Brian's not here. And the reason Brian isn't here, by the way, is because we thought it would just be a bit easier and we didn't have to use two cameras. And also, if Brian knew you were Australian, there might be a bit of, you know, he's a bit of a, you know, so
yes.
Let's keep him out of it.
Okay.
So, yeah, and I'm just really happy that you came to chat to us because it's hard to get a teenager to come and chat to old people on podcasts.
You know, the teenagers these days, you know, don't want to be in front of a camera.
No.
You know, and yeah.
But the reason I've come to know you is because you met my daughter, who is 17 as well, same age as Tyrese, and they do a radio course together.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about that later on, but she was gushing about how she'd made this friend and like you had your own radio station, and it was such a great opportunity to think, hang on a minute, you know, you've got this teenager that lives just down the road for us that is doing this fabulous radio station, which we're going to talk about later, but I've got so much I want to ask you. Tell me about school. Did you go to school in New Plymouth? Or?
Yes, so first, you know, I did mainstream school and then I moved to correspondence schooling. I think I was in mainstream school until like 2019, 2018, and then I moved to correspondence learning, mainly because, you know, my mental health and that. I'm autistic, and, you know, I felt I didn't get as much support as I did in mainstream school, so we gave correspondence learning a shot.
Right. Tyrese, sorry, before you carry on, I'm sorry to be really ignorant. What does it mean to be autistic? What is that? What is autism?
Autism, I'd say, is disability where, you know, your brain... It's kind of hard to explain autism. Yeah.
Is it where you have hard time putting things into order? Is that it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's just hard. It's hard to process and to understand things quickly. Okay. You know.
Which is pretty difficult when you're in a room full of kids and school and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I kind of found that was really hard, you know. But I'm going to be completely honest, I was kind of like, you know, getting into a lot of rage. I had rages a lot, you know, rage sessions in there. I would always get angry. I had like big anger issues and stuff. So that's kind of the reason why we moved to correspondence learning as well.
Right, okay.
But other than that, I'm here now, you know. I've matured enough, and yeah, that's just pretty much basically my life in the past few years.
Do you mind talking about the school thing and the
Yeah.
Is that all right to talk about
fine,
that?
Yeah.
So when you were at school and you were experiencing, you know, you were autistic and you had these rages and things like that. Was there a lot of support for you, or was there? How was that? How was it when you had these experiences? Did you feel supported at school, or?
I didn't. Yeah, like they tried to give me support.
Yeah.
But I felt like I didn't get much.
Right.
I think my family felt the same as well. Yeah, they also felt like I didn't get support.
Right.
Until, like, you know, I got a bit older, you know, and that's when I started to get support once I got out of mainstream school.
Yeah.
And yeah, so.
And you went to correspondence. So anyone who's listening overseas that isn't sure what correspondence is, it's in New Zealand. We've got correspondence school where kids can basically learn online. It's absolutely brilliant. I can't speak highly enough of this program, to be honest.
It's easy too.
It is, yeah. And they have all these fabulous teachers that the kids just ring up or they email and they get all their mainstream work sent to them and they just do it at home.
Yeah.
But because Tessa, my daughter, was homeschooled and she started correspondence when she was 16, and so did my son. And it was the best thing. It was brilliant because they still get to, they can go to the local college, can't you?
Yeah.
And, you know, get together, and that's how you met Tess. And, you know, still have all these big meetups and be with a teacher. But it's just, they can do it at your own pace and you're doing it at home, and it's just...
Yeah, that's what I didn't feel.
I love that.
Yeah, I didn't feel that in mainstream school. I didn't feel, you know, I felt pressured.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Everything was just so fast paced, and like with correspondence learning, you know, you can just go at your own pace.
Take your own time.
Yeah, just take your own time, you know. Finish the work whenever you want to,
Yeah.
you know. Just make sure it's back by the due time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And you know what I think, Tyrese, as well? I would imagine, I mean, we'll get into that more, but
Yeah.
like talking about my own daughter, she's very creative, and so is my son. And I mean, school works for people, you know. Some people just love school and they get on with school, but certain people, I think especially if you're like really creative and you want to do things differently, you don't fit into that box easily, do you? And you start to think, you know, why can't I just get on? But yeah, that's why I asked about autism, because I wondered if it was, I don't know anything about it, hand on heart, and I wondered if it was like where your brain is just like thinking of all these different things.
Yeah.
But actually that's really cool.
Yeah,
you know, that's my brain.
Yeah. People with autism, they're really creative-minded people.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you started correspondence, and did all your anger issues go away then, or? Yes,
I felt, you know, more calmer, you know, doing correspondence learning. You know, I didn't feel as much pressure, and I just felt, you know, happy, you know, just being in my own space. Because I was pretty much, you know, I wasn't really social back then when I started. So I'd just always be at home. I would never go out and stuff.
Why is that? Because you were shy, or?
I was shy, and I had like just a little bit of like social anxiety, and that's just being out there. So I'll just always just stay at home and stuff.
Do you have many friends or not?
Not really.
No?
Not as much. The only friends I've got are probably online, and you know, Tess.
Yeah.
You know.
Same with Tess.
Yeah.
She sort of like has one friend or two friends, and that you have that close friendship.
Yeah.
And that's fine too, you know, isn't it?
Is.
You know, I think we're made to feel like you should have all these friends and like all. you know.
I don't mind being by myself, to be honest. Like, don't need friends to carry on with life.
No, as long as you've got one or two people that you can just...
as long as you've got them, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
you tell me about your family. What family have you got around you?
So, I'm currently living with my nan at the moment. I've got my parents and my siblings all in Australia, Perth. And just basically my whole family are from New Zealand, New Plymouth, Waitara, yeah.
So have you got like all cousins and aunties around you?
Yep.
Or, yeah?
Yep, which is good.
Yeah.
You know, just go over to there, you know, be social. To be honest, they're like the only friends I've got, you know.
Yeah,
and I don't mind that at all.
No, they're the best sort of friends.
Yeah, they are.
Look at me and Brian, we're best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got any other friends except him.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got my nan.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I just think family is so important, and that's why I asked you that question. When you say you're mouldy, it's like you seem to be very, very family orientated. There's lots of family all around looking out for you. Is that correct? Or
yeah. My family really supportive, and I appreciate all of them for that. You know, just being supportive. You know, making me feel at ease sometimes. I just love it. Especially my nan, you know, she's been big help, you know, with my mental health and stuff. So I appreciate her for that. And even my parents, my siblings and that, they all make me happy and that. I just appreciate all of them,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
So that's why you got to appreciate your family, you know, more.
Yeah, definitely, darling. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And your nan's here. She's sitting with Brian at the back, and I'm going to make sure she comes over at the end of the show and says hello. So get ready, Nan. No, was it your nan that told you that, you know, because how did you, when you were at school, who did you go to and say, look, I want to leave, I want to do correspondence, I want to come out of mainstream school? Because that is a big thing.
Yeah.
Was it your nan that supported you, or did you, what was that?
I had counsellors in there who helped me, and they recommended correspondence to me, but like they kind of made all the decisions. Yeah,
it's a hard word.
I can't say that.
Yeah,
I find it hard to say that, but yeah, they've made all of that, and I basically just went on with it, you know. I was just like, yes, homeschooling.
Oh, yes.
Homeschooling.
Yes.
Home, you know, stayed at home.
Yeah.
But, you know...
people say that to me. They're like, what did your kids say when you said you wanted to homeschool? I was like, I don't know, because they were just jumping for joy. I couldn't... So what kid wouldn't want to, you know...
But I say, after a while, it feels like actual school, you know?
Yeah.
You're at actual school, and it's not really like you have a day off school. It's just...
People get this impression, don't they, of like homeschoolers or correspondents, that they just sit at home in their pyjamas all day and do nothing. Well, that's mainly true. But I mean, it's not all like that, is it, Tyrese?
No, not at all.
I wanted to ask you a question. We've got a private New Zealand community that I was telling you about earlier, and I put on the chat, look, I'm talking to Tyrese, and is there anything you want to ask? And there's a lovely guy from Belgium, and he's coming over, and in a couple of years, but he's got a son whose English isn't his first language, and he said, will you ask Tyrese what it's like in school, when a new kid comes to school, how well are they embraced and accepted if they don't speak English, say, or, you know, English isn't their first language? What would you say?
They'll feel accepted into it. You know, everyone's equal, you know, in school. But, you know, it'll fit in really well because everyone's just nice to new students that come into the school. Yeah, so feel accepted. Either way, I don't care. Yeah.
So he hasn't got to worry. You haven't got to worry, Bert.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. Just
Yeah. Oh, what was it? I want to ask you this massive question. Like, what's it like being a teenager in New Zealand? But what is it like being a teenager in New Zealand? I don't know how other way to put it.
What's it like being a teenager in New Zealand? It's hard, you know, especially at this age. But, you know...
Why is it hard?
You know, I reckon it's hard at this age because you feel so pressured and you're coming to your adult years and stuff. And, like, you just got all these stuff coming at you with school, with work, whatever. And, yeah, so I just find that it's hard, you know. And yeah, that's just my take on it.
It's kind of like, I mean, I know I'm going to sound like an old fart by saying this, but I think the social media thing is as well. Like, it puts that pressure on kids, doesn't it?
Does.
Like, you know?
It does, yeah. I've got social media myself, but I try to back away from, you know, all that type of nonsense and all that trash talk and stuff.
Yeah, I would imagine it's quite hard. This is what I talk to my daughter about a lot. It's like, it's quite hard to just block all the noise out, listen to your heart, and just keep going forward. Like, you know, that you're doing all right. You're all right, you know. That's what I say to Tess, is you're enough, you know. You're doing a good job. And that's why I wanted to chat to you today, because, you know, you really stood out to me as being... We can cut this out if you don't want to talk about this. We can cut this out, but basically a couple of months ago, something happened with my daughter, and something happened, and it wasn't right. And you stood up for her. You stood up and you stuck up for her, and you did what was right, regardless of the fact that would have outed you with your friends, or you would have made, you know, you went and told on the whatever. I don't know what the saying is, but do you know what I mean? You did the right thing by my daughter, and you stuck up for her, and you did what was right.
I always stick up for friends. Like, no matter what, I just stick up for them always. I'm always loyal to them, you know. I don't like when they're in situations like that, you know. It sucks, you know. Yeah. Sucks bad. But
do you know how rare that is? Do you know that 4 adults phoned me after you'd done that?
Wow.
And said, that guy, he's a good friend. He is a good friend. And we were like, yes, he is. Like, you know, it's very rare to be able to just put yourself, even though you know everyone else is going to be like, oh, what are you doing? You know, you'd be one of the, you know, don't do that. Yeah. I want to thank you. I mean, you know, I really want to thank you for that, and I just want to tell you that it's admirable, Tyrese.
Yeah, I like being kind to people, and you know, I don't like being that bad person towards others, you know.
But there's a lot of pressure, and there's a lot of social media pressure, and everyone knows what you're doing every minute of the day now, don't they? Like, you know. Yeah. And to put yourself, like I say, I just want to reiterate this: to put yourself out there for a friend and go, no, that wasn't right.
Yeah.
Who brought you up like that? Why, how come you're like that? What's given you those?
Basically the support that I've been getting, you know. It grew me up a little, you know, to become a mature, kind-hearted person. But yeah, it was just the support, and you know, as I said, like, I live with Nan, and she's supported me along the way. So that's kind of, you know, grew me up a little bit. And yeah, again, I just appreciate it.
Yeah.
Know?
Yeah. We appreciate it. We appreciate it, darling. We really do.
Yeah,
and Tessa appreciates it. And it's 1 in a million, and it's lovely. And please, it's inspiring, to be honest, that you know, you're willing to do that and put yourself out there. And when I contacted you about your radio station, you said, I just want to spread kindness with my radio station. Let's talk about your radio station.
Okay, yes.
So you're in correspondence.
Yeah.
And you do this radio course to get some credits.
Yes, so I do this radio course, tertiary learning, and yeah, I think we're almost at the end of it.
What did you have to do to get your credits? What does it mean on to be the radio? What is that course?
So radio broadcasting course, pretty much, you know, get hands-on experience in, you know, radio. Grow your confidence up, but you know, you've got to complete some assessments and stuff, like produce a 5-minute radio show and just all of that, you know.
Did you find it hard being a shy, like you just said, you didn't, you know, you're not a massively sociable person, and did you find it hard to be like, okay, because I know I do, you know, and like to put a camera on and a microphone and just start talking? How did you find that?
Nerve-wracking.
Did you? Yeah. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, especially doing like announcing in front of other, you know, teenagers. Yeah, it was nerve-wracking, but I think we kind of grew to that, and we became confident with each other and stuff. And
so that's where you met Tess, wasn't it? That's where you met my daughter on this radio course, because she's also does broadcasting and. But yeah, I can tell Tess, she didn't have much confidence in like speaking, but she was really well when we first heard her. Like as soon as we heard her, we were just like wow. Well, me, of course, I was like that. I think you suited each other really well, and I used to love it. They'd start their radio show and they'd be like, "Good morning, this is Tyrese and Tess, you know, bringing to you from Taranaki." You know, it just sounded so lovely.
Yeah.
And your Māori accent and her English accent, and it's just, I reckon you should do something together. I'm always saying this to her.
Yeah.
I'm like, phone Tyrese and ask him to do a radio show.
Yeah. I've been told that a lot. Like you should do something with Tess.
You should.
Yeah, I think Nan told me something about, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah, she told me something about that, like you and Tess should do something together.
Absolutely, and I'm not just saying that because she's my daughter, I'm saying it because to listen to you both, it was really calming. You've both got really calming, soothing voices.
Yeah. I would love to do like something more further, more in the future.
Do you know what I loved about you, Tyrese? This morning, I went on Facebook because I wanted to stalk you and find out as much as I could about you, because I'm a little weirdo. And I found a clip that you phoned...
a radio station.
Yeah, what's it called? What's the radio station?
More FM.
Yeah. And he's in his bedroom and he's filming himself calling More FM and telling them that you enjoyed their thing, aren't you?
Yeah.
And I absolutely love, this is why I think you're going to be a huge success. Just never change. You phone up and he's so nervous, but he's filming himself being nervous and talking to the radio station.
Yeah.
And underneath you've written all these captions like, feeling really scared now, really brooking it now, like, you know, and it's, I love it because it's rare, Tyrese, to see people being themselves and being vulnerable and showing other people that, yes, I'm ringing a radio station and I'm terrified, like, you know.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to, you know, spread my emotions out.
No,
there, you know?
No, and I love that. That's why I think you're going to be brilliant. I really do. Because once you might be a little shy now, like talking to me maybe, but once you're on your own terms, it's lovely. It's lovely. Did you make a conscious effort? Did you think, right, I'm going to sit down and I'm just going to be myself? Or did you just start filming and start producing your show and it just all flowed out of you? How was that?
I just, started and, kind of, Sorry,
Sorry for what? You just started.
I kind of started a bit there, but,
What's been the best thing about starting that radio station? No, hang on. Let me just ask you, how do you start a radio station? What do you do? How did you start it?
I just, got a radio broadcasting software, just some gear, microphone. And
what do you mean? Just buy a microphone?
Just buy a microphone.
Yeah, and then what?
Computer, laptop, whatever, and just, you're good to go.
But how do you put it on the radio?
Got to get a radio broadcasting software, of course.
What does that mean? What do you mean? But how do you make the people say, okay, you can have your show on our... like, because you do... who's your host? Your radio show?
Who hosts?
What's the radio... God almighty. Where's Brian? Right, so The Scoop is your radio station. Yeah. But who is... Can anyone just go onto the radio and go, oh yeah, I'm starting a radio station?
It's internet radio at the moment. So...
is it like a podcast? Is it the same sort of... Oh, sorry. Is it the same sort of thing?
It's well, kind of. You can upload podcasts and that, but we broadcast live on the internet 24/7 and just play music over and over. And then...
I think I get it. So you can just record something and put it out, and that's called a radio. That would be a radio station. Is that right? Yeah,
you can record and put it out there, but you can also go live in that as well, 24/7. Yeah.
Do you know why I'm getting so confused? Sorry, Tyrese.
That's fine.
Sorry. My had done to do some
No, I
homework.
find it funny, to be honest.
Well, I'm sure you do, love. I don't. Listen, the reason I'm getting confused is because I don't listen to a lot of radio, but like the radio stations that I listen to, like More FM and things like that, and The Breeze, and I thought that they owned the radio air. And if you wanted to have a radio station, you had to go to someone like that and go, oh, can I put the scoop on your air waves? But it's not like that.
It's not like that.
It's not like that.
No.
Silly girl. Silly woman. No, all right, I get it. So it's like a live thing that you upload and you get followers. How do you get your followers? Do you just...
I just advertised it out there to people. We mainly do that type of stuff on our Facebook page.
What's your Facebook called?
The Scoop Taranaki, just Scoop Taranaki, easy. And also we've got a website that we just recently developed.
Right.
Yeah.
When you say we, who's we?
I have a friend actually, and my brother who helps me out as well. So we kind of plan everything and stuff. And
what's your brother called?
Jermaine.
Jermaine,
yeah.
So you do it together then. That's not so bad then. At least you've got someone to help you.
Yeah.
And just... Does he ever come on, Jermaine, or is he like more of a back?
It's more of a back, yeah.
Yeah. All the techie stuff.
I recently just asked him, would you like to help out in that, because I felt he was being left out, and because I had my mum helping as well, and I was just like, would you like to come and help? It's like, yep.
Is he? So is your twin brother? You said, didn't you?
Yeah.
Is he at school or does he do correspondence too?
He's school, yeah.
Yeah.
He just recently graduated though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
That's really nice that you're doing it together. Really nice. Keeping it in the family. That's the best way.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But my mum, she's really into it. Like, she really wants to help.
Yeah.
Pick grow, and we're thinking of doing a merch drop as well. Merch drop,
yep.
Yeah.
Scoop.
Yeah.
Yep.
They'll be coming up later on next year, hopefully. And yeah, I've got a lot of goals.
You have, yeah.
A lot of goals planned for the future ahead.
So tell me where you see yourself in. First of all, before you tell me where you see yourself in 5 years, I just want to know, your radio station, do you interview people, or is it you playing music? Are you entertaining? I know that you...
A bit of both. I'm starting to, I want to start interviewing people, but I'm just, I don't know. It's just that confidence, just asking the questions, being the... how do you say, interview?
Yeah, like the person who does the interview.
Yeah.
Do you prefer being interviewed, or do you prefer asking the questions?
I prefer being interviewed.
Do you?
Yeah, I find asking the questions, I feel awkward.
Do you?
when I do that sort of stuff, but...
I reckon you've learnt a lot today, Tyrese, because look, you don't need to do any research. You just, it doesn't matter if you make... Yeah, but again, going back to that thing is you just be yourself and just ask them questions and just get that conversation flowing, don't you?
Yeah. It's just one thing, I'm just afraid that I might just ask the wrong thing, and then after the interview they go why do you ask me that? Why do you ask me no? Do
you know what's a good tip? Is just to say to people, what do you want out of this? What would you like to talk about? Because when I phoned you up, that's what I said, me and you talked, didn't we? And we're like, and Tyrese said, I just want to talk about being a teenager in New Zealand and, just my radio show and my goals and that's what people want, I think. It's really interesting to just sit and listen to someone's conversation and just see how it progresses. And I don't know, I don't really like I don't know about you, how do you feel about this? But I don't really like the set I prefer to see conversations just go in different directions and go, oh, they're going to talk about that now,
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Rather than just so how old are you, what's your name, what are you going to do? It's just, it can be a little bit restricting, can't it? And
yeah, it's kind of where do you live?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, finish now. Yeah.
What do your friends think about you doing your radio station? I know you said you've only got one or two friends or whatever. What's their...
They think it's cool. It's cool, yeah. They're supportive, which I appreciate. I appreciate people supporting me. But the main supporters will probably be my family, who have helped, try and grow the station further. And yeah.
Yeah.
So family is just number one priority at the moment.
Yeah. Just, oh, that's lovely. That's really lovely. Where do you see yourself being in 5 years? What's your goals?
Hopefully doing a show for like a popular radio station. Hopefully. Maybe getting my own studio for the Scoop, and you know, just being a good dude.
Yeah.
You know, just being a good person to others.
Yeah.
I want to kind of, you know, teach young, passionate broadcasters, like, you know, how to do radio, and just tell them my story of, you know, I used to be, you know, someone who didn't know anything about radio, and now look at me, rised up to the top, and yeah.
And you must feel really proud of yourself when you think,
I am.
Yeah. And I bet your family is very, very proud of you, because you've brought yourself up from, like you say, you were at school, you were having these anger issues, you weren't happy.
Yeah.
And look at what you've done. It would have been really easy for you to just go, well, do you know what? I'm just going to stick my head in my room and just go on social media and just, you know, give up.
Yeah.
But you seem to have channeled your energy into your radio station, and all your family have joined in and supported you, and that must feel absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, it feels great.
Yeah.
You know, getting my family on board.
It'd be really nice that if you interviewed your family as well, and just, you know, just like your nan, and just get their story. Do you know what the biggest thing is stories, Tyrese?
Stories, yeah.
It is. People love them. Just listening to someone's story. Maybe it goes back to caveman days or whatever, when we all used to sit around the fire and tell stories, but I don't know, it's just, there's something about a story. People always want to know your story, don't they, you know? And that's going back to that thing that you did on Facebook. I could see your bedroom, and I could see you, and you're 17 and you're excited, you're ringing the radio station, and you know, and now I know why that must have meant such a lot to you to ring that radio station, because it takes a lot of guts to ring a radio station.
It does, like, you know, after listening to the shows and that, I was just like, should I call them up, you know? And then I was just like, you know what, I'm going to do it, you know, confidence. You know, I'm going to try to boost my confidence up throughout the years. You know? But yeah.
What would you say to someone who was in school now, and they're like 12 or 13 or something, and they're having a really hard time, and they just feel like, oh, do you know what, I'm not fitting in so well, and I haven't got friends or whatever, and I just feel like, because a lot of kids feel like that, don't they? What would you say to them?
Don't give up. You know, don't give up. You know, everyone's got a chance. You know, if you've got a passion, as I always say, like, if you've got a passion, stick with it, because you never know. You know what that passion might bring you in the future. So all I got to say is just don't give up.
Yeah.
You know, if you need any help, just call me up. Just try to find me. You know, I can help you.
Yeah. Yeah. So your radio station, I'm going to put all this in the description, obviously, but your radio station is The Scoop.
Yeah.
You are Tyrese. What's your surname?
Epiha.
Epiha.
Yeah.
And you know, if people want to look at you on Facebook or Instagram, or is that where you are? Or yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they can all find me on any social media. I'm pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just promise me one thing then, okay? That you just always stay yourself. Always be like you're vulnerable, just real, Tyrese. I know you're going to, because you've got all your wonderful family around you that I know are supporting you and keeping you safe and grounded and everything. But that's why you're going to succeed, because it's lovely to watch. And you know, and I know it's been hard probably to turn up at my house and go, oh, sit down and just be questioned and everything. I really appreciate it, because even that, you know, just seeing you processing this conversation and everything, it's just lovely. And I wish you all the luck in the world, and you don't need luck, because I know you're gonna be brilliant.
Thank you.
And in my mind, I've got so many ideas that I'm thinking, wow, he could do that, he could do this. You know, do you think that too?
Yeah, my parents think that as well.
Do they? Yeah. How lovely to have that support from your family.
Yeah, I didn't expect it, to be honest, but it's just like, you know, I was just wow, you know.
Yeah.
Like I just didn't expect to get this much support from everyone.
Yeah.
You know, and I was just, you know, I'm hoping that in the future, you know, the Scoop will keep growing and growing. You know, I just want to make my family proud.
I'm sure you're already doing that, sweetheart. But yeah, I'm sure you're already doing it. But so please go and listen to the Scoop. Is it just the Scoop FM? Is that how you find it? Just the Scoop FM?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you my details in that website and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Right, Nan, come on, get down here. Let's have a look at you. Let's see the woman that's inspired you and just... Can I move my microphone, Bri?
Just don't bang it, that's all.
Okay, I just want to say hi to you. Lynn, come down. You must be so proud.
I am.
You are Lynn.
I am. Same as you.
It's been an absolute honour to talk to Tyrese, and it's made me feel warm inside knowing that you're there supporting him and all your family.
We're all proud of him and every day things that he does. And you know, it's incredible. If you'd known him 2 years ago, you would never thought he would have been not the man he is today.
No.
You know, do you mind if I just tell you a little bit more about Tyrese?
No.
Tyrese didn't fit school because school didn't fit him.
Right.
And he struggled for a long time. And I don't like to say he was ragey or angry. That was frustration, I think, and confusion about not being able to fit.
Yeah.
And we found a place where he could go, where he had one-on-one learning, which is what he was craving for. And that allowed him to do the correspondence thing. So that's where that happened. And he's just leaps and bounds since because he was in the right place, getting what he needed.
Yeah, yeah. And don't you just think that I mean, I know you're his family, so you're used to it, but it's rare though, Lynn, isn't it? To see it in a young person, just this vulnerability and this realness and this kindness and just, you know.
I'm talking about that all the time. See, with Tyrese's autism, he's very black and white. There's no grey bit in the middle. You're either this or you're either that, you know. And when you're being mean and awful to somebody, that's bad.
Yeah.
Or if you're doing good, then it's right, you know. So it's not a bad way to be either, you know. And then when he sees something that he doesn't like and it's bad, then he's got to do something about it.
Yeah.
And that's how that happened with Tess. And I think I'm very proud of him for stepping up like that. But I'm not surprised that he didn't do it.
No. I'm really proud of him. Thank you, both of you, so much for coming on. I'm sorry, this is a bit awkward. I'm sitting here like, ooh, you know.
Get me in there now.
Come on, Brian, join the party. But we just want to say thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the show. Please go and listen to Tyrese on Scoop. And we'll speak to you soon and see you next week. Okay, bye.
Hello.
Daddy, I love him. Mother thanks you. All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.